Okay, part two. Sorry about that. I drove up to. I didn't expect him to be open, but he was open. He just doesn't like me filming. He's an old country guy. He just doesn't like to be on video. So, have to respect that. Now, this is my third trip down the road. Each about 2.5 miles. So I've gone about 7 miles, and it runs great. It's still old, you know, it's still an old truck, but it's performing well for all the maintenance that we've done to it. It was totally necessary. Now it's a bunch of cosmetic little things. I found one little leak, which is no big deal. And Victor even told me the same thing. He says, man, he says, you got to drive it. He says, just drive the thing. He said, if something breaks, we'll know what to fix. That sounds right. even I got that one. Just drive it, and if something breaks, we know what we need to fix. God, that's some of the best damn country logic that I've ever heard. But it's so true. Because in reality, you know, I could sit there and nickel and dime myself on it, you know, do this, do that, you know, and then all of a sudden, something totally unrelated breaks. But my next project is this wheel. Now, Victor told me that the wheel these are kind of a pain in the ass. But I watched a YouTube video of Marty T pulling one of these off. And even Andrew Caparella on his videos. So you can remove this outer set of nuts right there, and you can pop this outer rim off. You got to leave this collar on and just leave it alone, because this is a kind of a difficult setup, and I don't have the right kind of heavy duty impact tools out here to do that. But I've got a big enough impact for this nut here, and then try to get that rim off, okay? And then maybe just take it somewhere instead of trying to have a service call come out here. But Ronnie White's tire will come out here. It'll just charge me more, that's all. So again, the new mud flaps looks good. The back end looks good. In fact, the back end looks really, really good. It looks well taken care of. And yes, you're right, guys. I've got to put my stay back 200 feet, not responsible for windshields and all that, you know, all that logo stuff. I've got to put that up there too. But it's all cool. Now I've got $3,600 in it. Still a good investment. Now, I can already tell you that this thing has got a kind of a strange second gear. It goes in smooth, no problem, but it seems to be so tall from the granny gear that it sputters a little bit. Like the gear is just a little bit too short from first to second. That ratio is a little off. As far as I'm concerned, it's a little off. But now I've got to paint a lot of the underneath of this. Of course, I got to take care of all that. Got to fix this. So there's some cosmetic things that I need to do. I got to fix this light right here, get a cover for it. And, you know, little things. Okay. All the little things, right? Cool. But it's all, you know, it's all part of it. This for me this year is really the only thing I've bought this year. It's not that big of a tax write-off, to be honest with you. I had in my mind, I said, what the hell? Let me go. I kept seeing this dump truck down the road for 5 years. Ever since I've been here, 6 years, excuse me, I've seen this dump truck sitting right down the road here. And I just kept telling myself, I said, shit, one day go in there and just talk to the guy and see what the story is. And one day I did. And then 4 months later, I finally bought the damn thing. Okay. Farm's looking good. It rained its butt off. got a little bit of sleet here, but I know you guys up north, the Northeast, New York, Delaware, all those, Pennsylvania, all the Northeast states got hammered with snow. Sorry about that, but at least it's not global warming. We need 2 and 3 foot of snow every now and then to cool everything down. I got to work at the hospital this weekend, so I went and got my backpack blower, both my gas cans and my sprayer, and I've got to do some maintenance on Saturday, and I got to go look at a job tomorrow at 10:30. The guy's trying to sell his house, so he's got a punch list. I did a job first thing this morning. Same thing. The guy says, "Hey, in about a month, I'm putting my house up for sale. As soon as I get the gig sheet, I'll give you a call and let you know what's going on. I'll have you come over and make the repairs, whatever is necessary to sell the house." And I said, "Sure." So works there. There's no problems with that. I'm not having any issues finding work or work finding me. That never seems to be the issue. The only thing is now the weather's iffy, rainy, cold, and trying to get some things done around here is I have to just 3 hours here, 3 hours there. And yes, one of my subscribers says, before I go buy another building, I need to go ahead and finish out this building, because then it'll make me seem like I'm doing half-ass on my jobs, and I don't want to finish what I started. And I totally agree with that. So I'm going to finish this out before I buy another building, or I'm going to build me something. But let me tell you something. Here's the deal. This is what everybody says on the comments. They say, well, build it yourself and you can save yourself a lot of money. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, the labor's free, but the price of materials is really, really expensive, okay? Bottom line is really expensive. If I built a shop, let's say twice the size of that, a 28 by 28, a 30 by 30, a 40 by 40, number one, I'd have to put it out here. That's number one, and probably this spot right here would be the spot I would put it. Somewhere right along in here. Okay? How much do you think the materials would cost for 40 by 40 if you did it in wood or if you did it in metal? I want to hear your opinions, and I want you guys to be realistic now. A 40 by 40, the cheapest way possible, wood or metal, right here. And this land is pretty doggone flat. You would have to hardly do any grading to it. You'd have to do some, but not a ton. You're off 2-3 inches right along in here. So you'd have to do a little build up, but you scrape from here and just make it all, level. And I've got the machinery for that. So that's not a problem. I can do all my own excavation work, leveling work, ground preparation work. And then it's just a matter of what type of foundation. And remember this. If I put a concrete slab out here, let's say I hire a crew, and I can get the concrete slab pretty cheap. Let's say $3,000, I can have a 30 by 40. Let's be realistic. A 30 by 40 for about $3,000 if I do all the prep work. Okay? They come out and they do all the finishing work, pour finishing work. Now, then the lumber would cost an easy $10,000. $10,000. Then you got the doors, and then you got to figure out what kind of roof. But your frame and your sheathing will cost you $10,000 to do a 30 by 40, and that's putting a roof on it. Whether it's shingles or tin, it doesn't matter. So $10,000 in material costs, $3,000 for the concrete pour. So you're at $13,000. It would take me 2 weeks by myself to frame it out. If I busted my ass on it, then you got to deal with all the other hardware to the building. You got to have a road access up here. In other words, you got to build some way to drive to it. So I would have to then connect it over there, make a separate entrance, or connect it right here. Move that fire pit, and then just use this gate right here. So I would create another road that's already technically here, and then do the big U-turn right here and go through this gate. And bam, there would be the shop. Give me your opinions on that. Okay, Tom out of here. We're going to head back to the city. Love you, you know that. Smash that bell for future notifications. Thumbs up, subscribe, share, like, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Tom out of here.